Should voters worry about the ages of President Biden and former President Donald Trump?
I think that's absolutely legitimate concern. And the presidency is not a job for someone that's 80 years old, and there's nothing, wrong with being 80. Obviously, I'm the governor of Florida. I know a lot of people who are elderly. They're great people, but you're talking about a job where you need to give it 100%. We need an energetic president. And I think that if the founders could kind of look at this again, I do think they probably would have put an age limit on some of these offices.
Well, I don't know. I hope they would have. They should have. Joining me now, I wonder if he'll argue with me about it. He might. Ryan Girdusky, he is the founder of the 1776 Project PAC. I've never been a big fan of term limits, but I'm a big fan of age limits. I don't know why that's difficult to say. I think term limits are give or take. The staffers just get more powerful, and the people should be switching their government for them. They shouldn't ask for a law. What say you?
I agree with you. I don't like term limits. I have not liked term limits ever because in the New York City Council, we have term limits, and all that happens is the chief of staff either remains the chief of staff for the next administration. She's the only one who knows how to run things, and the bureaucratic state actually does most of the work as electeds don't really know what goes on. I do support age limits in theory, and I just think that maybe it's a competency thing. Like, I think that there are people like Chuck Grassley who is close to 90, if not 90, and he is incredible, but he is one in a million. Dianne Feinstein, for other hand, I think probably should be forced out to retirement at this point. And certainly for president, I think that you should have to pass a competency test. I think, by the way, you should have to pass the same kind of test for driving after the age of 70. I think after the age of 70, you should have to take a driver's test again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with sitting there and saying that at a certain age, it's not that you're useless in society, but maybe you're not up to certain tasks like you were. And there's a place for you, but it's not in the same place as maybe you would like to be, you would have been in the past.
Ryan, is the public, do they feel the same way? Because look, I'm sick of these old politicians. You are, most people watching, they are too, but these people keep getting elected. Nancy Pelosi gets elected. Mitch McConnell gets elected. Dianne Feinstein gets elected. Joe Biden gets elected. The public doesn't seem to actually care about these things.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do in theory and not in practice. It's like the question of, a lot of polls have said, to Democrats, do you want Joe Biden to be president again? 70% say no. And then who are you voting for in the primary? 80% say Joe Biden. Donald Trump, 70% of America wants him in prison, and 47% of America wants him to be president again. People's opinions are kind of broken in half. I think that there's two things. One is that Congress is not as old as it used to be, which people forget. It used to be a lot older. In the early 2000s, when John McCain was a young person in the Senate compared to the senators of Hawaii and Alaska and West Virginia and New Jersey were well into their 80s. It was a much older Congress. So Congress has gotten younger, but most people don't stay in Congress as long as people think they do. The average senator stays in for 2 terms. The average congressman, I think, for 5 or 6. So people usually don't stay in Congress for more than 10 years, period. So I don't think we need term limits, but I think that people need to maybe re-examine age. And the reason they're being reelected is because it's easy to get reelected once you're already in office. It's very difficult to lose your election.
For too long, we've been led to believe that communism is a thing of the past. But the truth is, communism is alive. It's here, and it's infiltrating every aspect of American life. Introducing the Anti-Communist Manifesto by Jesse Kelly, the practical guide for patriots ready to defend our nation from its most dangerous enemy. Discover the shocking extent of communist infiltration in our education system, their alliance with American corporations, and the twisted truth behind environmentalism. This eye-opening book exposes the true face of communism and empowers you to fight back. Join the fight for freedom. Pre-order your copy of the Anti-Communist Manifesto today by going to jessekellybook.com.